told me to freeze. Oh, wait. Hang on a moment. I forgot that I was using my ASMR mic last stream, so I had to just adjust some things. I should be back to normal kind of range now, hopefully. You got some tea now? Nice. I kind of mostly just finished my tea, so I'm quite happy. Ayo? What? Wait, I'm confused. Why did you say PP Triscuits? And then why did you say Ayo? Why are you Ayoing? What did I do? Well, yeah, I just finished my tea. I'm quite happy. I went for a nice walk today, so feeling good. Nothing. I see. I'm watching you. But, hello everyone. Hello, welcome in. It's been a very nice start to my week because the week hasn't really started yet properly for me. It was a bank holiday, kind of a new one. They brought this in last year. They brought us in last year for St. Bridget's Day. Although for some reason they seem to be pushing it as like a something for the. Hang on, wait. I just want to pull this down. Okay, apologies. They seem to be pushing it as sort of like a Celtic goddess Bridget thing. No, it's St. Bridget's Day. That's what it's always been. Shush. That's what people have always been doing in schools. You make the St. Bridget crosses. It's kind of silly, but yeah, it's a new bank holiday for us, so it's quite nice. It's really nice actually at the end of January, kind of, because usually from like December up to March, it's quite the slog. It is quite the slog to to March, the 14th of March or something like that for St. Patrick's Day. Hello, what's up? Welcome in. And hello, Clever. Welcome in. How are you guys doing? Please, no more of that cursed image. I won't be showing the cursed image. Unfortunately, I have given free reign to use it. Although if you spam it, I will like momentarily time you out on my Discord. But the cursed image shall prevail. It is on life support. What's up? I could at any time just decide to delete it because I control the emojis. I control them. It's taking up 1 of 5 of my stickers. I don't know how to get more stickers. I'll have to check. But like, it's taking up 1. I think you have to boost things, but it's taking up 1 of 5 of my stickers. So it's 1/5 of my sticker capacity. So if I get more emotes that are going to be better usage for stickers, then that's what I'm gonna do. It's the best sticker ever. It's terrible. It's the worst thing ever. But yeah, it's nice. It's nice to have this kind of little day off, little break. I used it to catch up on a little bit of stuff and play a little bit of Warhammer. Hello, Haru. Oh, you're poking me in the face. Okay, fine. I'm kind of cozy and happy right now, so I'll put up with a little bit of poking. Drown check. Well, I have a little bit of tea left. It's kind of not cold, but wait, let me see. Actually, it's okay. I thought it would be like in that kind of like lukewarm state when tea doesn't taste that nice, but it's fine. And thank you for the head pat, Triscuits. You saying PP reminded me, Triscuits, of it happened twice in a row. I remember when I first joined Kaz Spella's stream. And there was Kaz Spella, and I think there was another person's stream who also had it. They had a PP command, and it would like spit out some random number, and it would be very funny whatever people would get. And I remember the first time I was on Kaz Spella's stream and people were using it. I think Kaz's goes up to like 1 to 100. Shu has one. Shu. Oh, oh, that's probably. I think that's where it was. I think I was watching Shu. Yeah. Um, and I did it, and I got like. I remember on Kaz's one, the first time I did it, I got like 100. It was really. It was like one of my first interactions with Kaz too. It was really funny. Made me giggle. Got that 21-inch in that. Oh my god, that's that's not useful. You could use that as a baseball. That you could be dinging with that dong. You could be dinging some baseballs with that dong. Maybe Ruadh is the big dong zhong after all. Helicopter. That would. I think you'd be in. That's a mass turbine right there. You could like power wind energy with that thing. Just strap you to a wind turbine, and let the wind take it. Stack of donuts on it. You guys need to shut up. You need a lot of donuts for 100. That seems. I mean, 21 is already just stupid. 21 is already just stupid. Okay. Be okay. Be relaxed. Don't get too silly. Hello, Marvelous Nexus. Norax, sorry. For some reason I thought Nexus. But hello, Marvelous Norax. Welcome in. It's nice to see you. Green Energy Initiative, but it's just Ruadh on the front of the image. Oh! Hello. Earthy Zesty one. Thank you so much for the follow, and also I apologize that you must be so called out right now, but technically you were my 500th follower. Well, technically, like a week or two ago, I got hit by a massive bot follow, and I went up to like 2,000 followers. But so you're the second time I've hit 500 followers. But you know, this one's kind of more important. Who's Zesty? The follower who just joined. Yo, thank you, Zesty. Now you can unfollow, so I go back down underneath 500, 200, 2K follower special. Well, yeah, thank you guys. 500. It's kind of accelerated in the last couple of months. I feel like since January things have just been kind of silly. It's going way faster. I don't know if that's because I think maybe the brain rot is helping somehow, but yeah, wait, hold on. Because brain rot? No, it's because people are enjoying my deep philosophical readings and stuff. That's definitely the case. I'll carve out a path, and I'll eventually be the same size as Iron Mouse, but all my viewers will be doctorates in philosophy. It's because men. yeah, it's that one as well. Yeah, get his ass, Sari bot. Get his ass. Get blue_grey retort bot. Spam detected. Good job. Eh? Oi. Oi, Triscuits. Oi. Hang on a moment. Time out. WOD. I will do 60. There we go. That's what he gets for calling Sari a bad bot. Don't you call Sari a bad bot. He's a very good, sweet, hard worker. Much hard worker than you. A much harder worker than you. He's dead. Don't worry. We didn't kill him. We just threw him into solitary confinement for a little while. We just threw him into solitary confinement. That's all. Yeah. I don't like that when you... Well, I guess it kind of has to do that, but he's just buried 60 feet under. That's a really deep solitary confinement, so I feel like that would be illegal. That's very deep. 60 feet. That seems unnecessarily deep, Haru. You could get away with like 3 feet. We're in the forest, nobody knows. Remember to cover your tracks. You have to like pat down the dirt and kind of sprinkle some stuff around and sweep away your footprints. Take away his perms. Mod abuse. I'm the owner of this channel. I will abuse. I am literally a tyrant here. I'm a tyrant and I will wield it with the power of a tyrant. Glad to be back. But I've been watching a lot of I don't know if you guys care much for this, but I was watching a lot of Patrick Boyle recently. He's a YouTuber. I believe he's from some kind of place in Ireland, but he went over to America obviously to do stuff. But he has a very great dry humor, but it's all like it's all business and like international trade and fund news. But like he's really funny the way he does it. He in reality he's a hard hitting rap game enthusiast, but unfortunately the economy has been hitting him so hard he has to go making economy videos. But no, I if you guys have any interest in that, I would recommend even just listening to him tell stories about like Sam Bankman Fried. Yeah, I love the fact that some guy who swindled billions out of people on Bitcoin was called a bankman. That's really funny to me. What's gonna make you suffer with cursed images? I will just remove his cursed I will remove that from circulation. I'll remove it and then I'll figure out a way to ban it. I don't know how, but I'll remove it from circulation as a sticker and as an emote. Excuse me. He's gonna remove your image rights. You don't have. Yeah, I'm gonna remove your image rights. You don't have any rights. Remember, this is a dictatorship. I'm the Leviathan. I'm Hobbes's Leviathan. I can basically overawe you all with beatings and imprisonment and no image rights. Please do. It creeps you out. I understand, Pip. I understand. I don't like it either. I'm slowly like finding it like it's almost like oversaturation. But it's less becoming accustomed and more just being like ugh, rather than like pure hatred, which is probably a little bit better. Maids get no rights. You don't deserve any rights. Where's the maid workers union? There's 2 of you. You can't make a union out of like 2 people. Caligula. Maid abuse. Why have maids if you're not going to abuse them a little? I'm just saying. And that doesn't mean bad types of abuse. It means just like light bullying. Just because I really like this episode. Not the episode. I really like this image. Sorry, I was thinking of episodes of TV shows. I really like this image. Please post it in the Discord so others can enjoy it. I like how big his feet are. It's a kitty cat. It's a kitty cat. It's a kitty cat with big wide. Yeah, he has a big wide stance. Trying to keep it out of server so you can keep the sticker. Rule, please. We are masochistic. I like fluffy kitty feet. They're cute and make me want to pet them. You can keep, you can keep the sticker. I pray for all that is holy that you're not like posting that too much in other servers. I don't want people to look at that and have that be like their first interaction with me. I don't want that to be one of the first things that they see of me. Made you fear the Discord server? You just gotta drop kick him some more. You just gotta like elbow drop his ass. Cute kitty. Yeah, isn't he really cute? He's really cute. I was out for a walk today and I saw a dog playing with a swan. I don't think the swan was very happy, but the golden retriever, was having a lot of fun. He kept like kind of like going towards him a little bit, like kind of quickly turning and running away, and the swan was just kind of standing there, like his wings just kind of kept opening slightly and then closing back in, or he kind of like would peck at him. It was very funny. You try, Ruru, but he keeps getting back up. You gotta listen, Pip. You gotta stamp on four areas. You gotta stamp on the ankle. You gotta stamp on the neck. You gotta stamp on the back of the head, and you gotta stamp on the groin. You gotta stamp the groin multiple times. Really, you should just be stamping the groin over and over. You don't have to worry about the other areas. You want a golden? Goldens are very cute. They're very fluffy and dumb dogs. Although I think they're typically very smart, but they're also just kind of dumb. I really like Irish wolfhounds, and yeah. But I love how gangly and uncoordinated they are. They just stumble around and they look so silly, but they're so big and just strong. Like, they're just giant dogs, but they look so silly. You don't realize how big something like an Irish Wolfhound or a Great Dane is until you're next to them and you realize, oh god, if this thing stood up, it would be like way taller than me. You have to be like Wemby, like 7'4", to meet those things eye to eye. Have you seen a Russian Wolfhound? They're really cute. Russian Wolfhound. Oh, you mean the Borzoi? Borzoi. I have seen Borzois. I've never seen one in person. I've never seen a Borzoi in person. I want to see one. I wanna grab his snout. I wanna grab his snout and pet him. Great Danes are so fucking big. They are huge animals. Absolutely massive animals. It's insane. You want them, but they're so furry. Oh, would you not like all the fur, all the hair getting everywhere? You had a Great Dane, you wouldn't mind a Borzoi next? Yeah, do consider getting it. I heard Borzois are kind of dumb though. Like I've heard they're legitimately dumb dogs. Samoyeds are cute too. You want one? I know Haru Mizuki loves Samoyeds. I think he based his Heckhound design after a Samoyed. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I think it's something like that. Samoyed. But they're really cute. Has an X-Racer Great Dane, and you'll love her so much. X-Racer? Oh my god. I can't imagine how fast a Great Dane... Like, that's the thing. I've looked up videos of, like, animals, like Irish Wolfhounds and stuff playing before. Like, with other dogs. Because it's very funny to watch them just kind of body other dogs when they run into each other. Oh, Greyhound. Sorry, Greyhound. Not Great Dane. Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, who is racing Great Danes? Who is racing Great Danes? Yeah, greyhounds are like that. They're kind of like Borzois, but they just kind of stare at you. They're very 2D dogs, if that makes sense. They're very flat dogs. Like, if you stare at them straight on, they might disappear. Or they'll just become like a line. Hello, Nico. Welcome in. How are you? It's nice to see you. They are so 2D. Yeah, they're so skinny. I know quite a few of them because greyhound racing is quite big in Ireland. Let's talk about medium dogs. Corgis. Corgis are very cute. I'm pretty good too. Thank you, Nico. But I'm definitely more of a fan of big dogs. I like my... Like, I guess I consider a German Shepherd or things like that to be, like, you know, the bigger dogs, but obviously you have the big dogs. Hello, Tasty. Welcome in. How are you? It's nice to see you as well. Greyhound racing is big here too. Wherever money can be made. has a massive racing circuit solely for greyhound racing. I know places like that as well. Where they literally just have greyhound tracks. Corgis are so adorable and cute. What's Oh no, wait, no. Corgis are the Japanese dog, aren't they? Like the Japanese dog that they love. Or am I thinking of a different dog? Corgi bubble butt. They do. They have such fluffy butts. They have really fluffy butts. Huskies are cute. They're so... Huskies seem like such a handful. I saw one with heterochromia before. He was insane. Shibu Inu, sorry, was the dog I was thinking of. I was like, they look kind of similar to corgis. They look a little bit similar to corgis. But they're taller. They're like a less squashed corgi. You'll tell your family on who to bet on after examining the info bucket and made your family hundreds each. Nice job, What's up? Did you how? You used to be a master of it when you were younger? Did you just pick all the people who were likely to win, like the most likely? Aren't all dogs a handful? Some are less so than others. Some are lazy slobs. Like I don't know exactly, but I feel like bloodhounds would be very lazy dogs. They just look like blobs. But yeah, some definitely have a lot more energy. You looked at their history. You blame the tism. Fair enough. But yeah, huskies can be an absolute handful. They will argue with you. They will argue with you if they don't want to do something. I wonder where that one comes from. Why they're so vocal. I can't imagine what it must be like. You know, if you're on those like sleds with like 50 of them pulling you along. That seems like a lot of huskies. That feels like they could like revolt against you. They're so funny in videos. If you have to deal with them IRL, I imagine so. I imagine like it can be really funny, but sometimes it's like, okay, listen, you dumb dog. You are a dog. I am a human. Come here. You just grab him and just throw him into the bath. And then they're like, Rah. I saw such a cute video of some kind. No, Fox. I'm trying to talk about dogs. Now you're poking me like you poke a dog. There's more like 12 in a sled. Yeah, I was thinking 50 is a lot. 50 is a lot. But I can imagine that must be an absolute cacophony of noise. You're a dog, apparently. I don't think so. My bark isn't really there, is it? My friend Dai is a dog. My friend Dai is definitely dog coded. Sled pulling huskies are actually very well trained. I would imagine so. I can't imagine you could have like one dog like sees something in the distance. It's like, ooh, what's that? And then like suddenly everything's getting tangled and like you're falling down a hill. They don't argue or anything like that. You gotta turn the other way when you get face poked. Yeah, I have to go. No, I can't let her poke me in the nose. Don't clip me barking like a dog. What's your spirit animal? I don't know. I think barn owls are really cool. I think toucans are cool little guys. I think toucans are like really cool little guys. It's a pom something. What are the small fluffy dogs? Speaking of small dogs, I despise chihuahuas. Pomeranian. Yeah, I think, yeah. I want you to get poked. No. Hello, cats. Welcome in. Thank you for the head pat. Poke in the nose. No, don't poke me in the nose. Your finger is gonna get all sticky. Do you want that? Do you want your finger to be sticky with Ruadh snot? I don't think so. I don't think that's something you want. Chihuahuas are barely dogs. Your mom used to say they're an insect hybrid. That makes sense. Poke up the nose? No, you're gonna touch my brain. You're gonna start like the mummification process. You're gonna poke it too much, and like suddenly I'll be talking in Egyptian. I put Brewer into just accidentally into a source filter that I had, and I actually think he looks more in line with being in the scene, doesn't he? It's kind of funny. What happened if I put little Ruru in there, actually? Where is he? Ruadh comfy. What if I put Ruru in there? Oh, they both look better, like more in scene. He's brown? Is there a problem with that? What the fuck? Why would you just like call him brown like that? Like as if it's a bad thing. He's toasting. He's toasting. He'll be ready for eating soon. Nom nom. We'll get some proper butter, because Brewer isn't getting eaten without butter. I'm sorry, What's up? You're not gonna get to eat him without butter. He's burnt. He's not burnt. He's not burnt. Don't say that about him. He's gonna get sad. He's gonna be crying. You're gonna get soggy bread if you make him cry, Haru. Give Brewer to Ruru, maybe. Twisting your words and making them sound racist. This is maid abuse. It's not me. It's not me saying brown, like just like exclaiming, "Oh my god, it's brown." I remember one time I was at an event, and there was a small child, probably about the age of 5 or 6, and a person in a wheelchair rolled past, and the child went, "Look, Mama, they're in a wheelchair." Oh, no, she didn't say wheelchair. She said, "Look, Mama, look at that man, Mama," like nice and loud, and pointed at him. I was like, oh no. Kids, no wonder you don't want any. No, you gotta. Didn't you learn from Shinzo Abe taking a fucking homemade shotgun to the chest? You gotta get those birth rates up. You gotta be having at least 3 children. The third is to make up for, so 2 to replace, and 3 makes up for potential dangers. I respect Haru because he wants to have like 80 children. He wants to have like 80 litters. No, I think one day he said like 1,672 litters. It was like really specific. Someone else with a uterus can carry that burden. I see. 3 children. They don't have to be humans, right? Are you planning on hooking up with the aliens when they come by, Haru? You remember in Spain there was an old guy in a wheelchair. You were talking to him and said his chair was cool. Electric ones you control. He sat you on his knee and started doing donuts on 2 wheels. What a based old man. He was drifting. He was drifting in his wheelchair. Oh, that's cool as shit. You know he was a wild person. He was doing some crazy stuff. Legend. You were like 5 or 6. I'd want to go on a. I want to go drifting with old grandpa. That's really cool, though. That was a big yawn. That was a nice yawn. Do you guys ever get those yawns? I'm down 2 followers. It went down to 498. What the fuck? Painful. Ugh. That's really rude, guys. But you know those yawns where it feels like, how do I describe it? It feels like you're it just feels like everything clears past your chest. Like it feels like it goes deep into your chest. Ruadh downfall arc is just gonna keep going down where you inhale everything. Yeah, yeah. It's like it just fills up. It's really weird. I love listening to dogs sigh. It's really funny when like my dog sighs because he's just sitting there and you could be petting him and then you lean back and you'll sit there for a little while like on your phone or something and all you hear in the background is or like through the nose or something like it's like okay, relax buddy, I'll get back to petting you in a moment. Although often I think it's actually they're comfy, they're like relaxed and they're just like can't say you've had one of those. Dogs sighing as if they have any troubles in their lives. I know. It's like they don't get pet 24/7. It's 23/7 instead. What a hard life. What a hard life they have. Sometimes, I don't know how to describe it. Sometimes I feel like I've had those types of sighs though. Not like an intentional sigh. It's just like, it feels like whatever happens. It's not me intentionally going, it's like just the air is pushed out of my lungs. And it's just like, it's hard to explain. Okay, I have yawned like 4. Okay, all this talking about yawning has made me yawn like 8 times. Put to bed 5 minutes and they're throwing a tantrum. Your cat to start screaming to be put to bed? Oh, what do you mean you put your cats to bed? Do you put them in their little beds and put blankets around them and give them head bats and a little kiss on the forehead? Not be at their beck and call constantly. Peasant, yeah. You gotta show cats who's boss. The moment they start going meow because you didn't give them like the finest of tuna, you just gotta throw them out the window. They'll land on their feet. They'll be fine. You wished. What do you do to them though? Do you wrap them up? That would accept anyone else being boss. Yeah, cats are interesting, guys. My dog currently loves the heat. He loves the heat. I think I told about this before, but he will lie down in front of the fire. If the fire's not on, he'll grab a blanket and try and put it over himself, and then if it doesn't, he'll grab it in like his teeth, and if it doesn't go over him properly, he'll look at you until you put it on him and like wrap him up. And I remember one time it was really cold and I was going to bed. I lied down, I got into bed, I was nice and cozy, and I expected him to kind of hop up onto the bed and like lie down next to me like he usually does, or lie down at my feet. But you want to know what he did instead? I think I told this, but he pushed his way to the top of the bed, like pushed my arm to the side and wiggled and nosed his way under the blankets and then lied down next to me. I was like, you bastard. But he was also extremely warm, so I did not mind. It was just like a hot water bottle next to me, so it was lovely. It was really cute. It was really cute. Your family doesn't like cats roaming around the house at night, so they get put to bed by closing them in the room with a cat flap. Ah, I see. They get a bunch of treats and relax for a few hours before a night of hunting. Dog burrito. Y'all still talking about dogs? Yeah. Sometimes you wish you had a really massive bear-sized dog to cuddle with in winter. You can go and steal a wolf. You can just steal wolves. Now, I don't know how happy they're going to be about that one, but you could just steal a wolf and see if that works. A Caucasian shepherd or something. You should look into Malamutes. Malamutes or like Tibetan Mastiffs. Wait, no, hang on. I think the Tibetan Mastiff is something completely different. Hang on. No, no, yeah, Tibetan Mastiff. Tibetan Mastiff are okay. They're kind of vicious. They're a little bit vicious, but they look like big lions or small lions. They look like small lions. They're very cute. You want a dog? You want to do that with a fox? You're just gonna steal a fox? You're just gonna go out there and steal a fox? They pee everywhere, though. Be careful. They pee everywhere, and they're really loud. They're like yip 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 yip. You love Tibetan Mastiffs, though. Yeah, they're super fluffy. But I think I'm going to get into our reading tonight because we've been talking about dogs for the past like 10 minutes. You probably won't get a big super dog, but it's nice to dream. The issue is all their fur, or like it gets everywhere. You shouldn't actually feed wild foxes. I remember one time I was like sitting down. I was out for a walk and I just sat down for a little bit, just enjoying some crisps. Or no, I think I got some chocolate. And so I look up and there's a fox like 2 feet away from me, and he's just kind of looking at me, and then he runs. I was like, what? Why would you get so close to me if you were just going to run? It was very sad. I was very upset about it. I wanted to look at him more. I was going to take a photo of him. It'll be worth it. Yeah, you just go and steal a little fox. Disney Princess Ruadh. I could have petted him and got like some disease. I could have gotten like rabies. God, I would not want to get rabies. That seems like a horrible way to go. Like genuinely lockjaw. God. Ugh. No, wait, no, that's tetanus. That's tetanus, isn't it? I think rabies is still really, really bad. Like where he sings and all the animals go to him. I think they'd run away from me, unfortunately. Is pretty terrifying, yeah. Like if you ever get bit by something, like a dog, it just... You're probably going to go to the hospital anyway, but like please just go make sure they check for that. If you see an animal acting really strangely, just back away from it. But yeah, let's get into our reading, which is the last chapter of our book. There is an epilogue, but I'll have to take a read of that because that's more specific to things. Hello, bad dragon toy. Abandoned bad dragon toy. Thank you for the head pat. Your family were scared you would get rabies once because a squirrel climbed up your leg and dug into your leg. Squirrels are cute. Oh no, why do you think the animals will run away? Because they'll hear my voice. They'll hear my singing voice. How am I doing? You just got back from work. I'm doing pretty well. We didn't have work today. It's a bank holiday in Ireland, so I had a nice long walk. Watching some dogs. Watching people go for runs. It's nice. The tentacle wave. It's so funny. But yeah, let's get into our reading. And this chapter is titled The Contradictions of Enlightenment and the Crisis of Modernity. So I assume what we're about to have happen is we're going to move beyond Descartes and Hobbes and those lot. Your singing voice is beautiful. It's okay. On a cold and rainy January day in 1793, a corpulent gentleman, just 38 years old, stepped out of his carriage in the midst of a hostile Parisian crowd. He loosened his scarf, turned down his collar, and with some assistance ascended the steep steps of the scaffold. Speaking in a surprisingly loud voice, he declared himself innocent, pardoned those who were about to kill him, and prayed that his blood would not be visited upon his country before placing his neck on the block of the guillotine. As the blade was released and began its swift downward course, few of those present realized that it was bringing an end not merely to the life of the King of France, but also to the purest hopes of the modern age. The cut was not clean, but it was mortal and final. One of the revolutionaries grasped the head by the hair and displayed it to the crowd. After a brief silence, cries of "Viva la Revolution" began slowly and then swelled to a roar, as if the mob needed to reassure itself that what it had seen, and in a sense achieved, was something positive, and with good reason. While it is almost certain that Louis XVI was guilty of treason and by the standards of his time deserved to be put to death, his execution carried the revolution across a line that could not be crossed with impunity. Having transgressed this boundary, there was nothing left to constrain revolutionary passions, and within a few months executions had become fully ritual, producing a reign of terror that lasted until July 1794, leaving more than 30,000 dead across France. Is this a fairy tale now? No, this was the execution of Louis XVI. Oh, excuse me. Hello, yeah boy, I must take a call, apologies. I do apologize for that. I had to just take something very quickly. Oh no, I. Okay, hang on. Okay, there we go. Boat or one if you want. He's giving Bell with the. He's giving Bell with the reading, but Merida with the style. Huh? We already know in looks though. You're more into action stuffs. Love your fighting films. He looks like a boy, Merida. What are you guys talking about? I'm so confused. Hello, Ketchup. Hi, Ketchup. Hi, Ketchup the bear. It's nice to see you. For those of you who don't know, Ketchup is another streamer. Hang on. Just because it's nice to see him, and we'll go shout out at. Huh? What? But he just followed. I'm so confused. I can't. His name isn't coming up. It's not allowing me to. What? It's not allowing me to do the thing. That's not fair. That's not fair at all. Oh wait, there it is. You thought you recognized that name. Hang on. He's a nice he's a bear. He's a literal teddy bear, and it's very cute. But you're debating which Disney princess I am. I see. I'll have to look up your guys' opinions later. Ketchup, you love him. I see you're a fan, Wampus. But yeah, hi Ketchup. It's nice to see you. He often does ASMR. Well, the last few times it's difficult to catch him. I must say it's difficult to catch a lot of people because again I'm very busy and then time zones don't line. But I have fallen asleep to the Ketchup's ASMR quite a few times. He has a very nice soft voice. Is a very good friend of yours. That's really nice to hear, Wampus. That's really sweet. Where's your hi? Don't get jealous. Don't get jealous. But yeah, it's nice to have you. I hope you've been getting on well. I just had to take a break for a moment, but I'm going to. You're filled with cotton polyester blend. Mods on. Don't threaten. Don't threaten my friends. Anyway, let's get back to our book, which has definitely taken a slightly more story turn. Despite the king's pardon and his prayer, his blood was visited upon his native land, and particularly upon those who had put his neck on the block. The terror swallowed not just the members of the ancient regime, but also many of the leaders of the revolution as well. While the number killed was not great by comparison to the earlier butchery of the wars of religion, or to the later slaughter of the 20th century, the reign of terror had an extraordinary impact on the intellectual elite of the time, shattering their fate that reason could rule the world, that progress was inevitable, and that the spread of enlightenment would usher in an age of peace, prosperity, and human freedom. The terror convinced them that when universal reason came to power, it wore a devil's mask and opened up the gate of not of heaven, but of hell. You didn't know I streamed? Yeah, I've been streaming for a little while anyway. A little bit over a year. But I got this model back in September, so things have been going pretty well. Don't threaten your friends, making it sound like you're not one. You're jealous? You don't even say hi to me. Or to... Do not stab the cute bear. Yes, please don't stab the cute bear. He may stab you back. He may stab you back. Or he might just look at you and go, why? And then you feel bad. The hopeful dreams of the Century of Lights were swept away and reaction set in on all sides. The blade that separated the muddled head of an ineffectual king from his body thus also severed the unblemished ideal of modernity from the reality of modern practices and institutions that were taking hold all over Europe. Since then, modernity has swept in everywhere and changed the face of Europe and the world. But despite this triumph, no one has ever been quite able to forget that modernity has an edge that cuts for good and ill. As we have seen, questions about the modern project have been raised before. Indeed, while modernity had increasingly engaged the imagination of European intellectuals since the latter half of the 17th century, there has always been those who had doubts that it was an unqualified good. In the late 17th and early 18th century, the broadest claims of the modern project had been called into question in the famous Quarrel of the Ancients and the Moderns. But this was for the most part a merely rearguard effort by humanists defending the authority of classical thought against Cartesian modernists. Rousseau launched a similar but broader attack in his Discourse on the Arts and the Sciences, arguing that modernity not only failed to improve human beings, but actually made them worse, producing not virtue, strength, or truthfulness, but vice, weakness, and hypocrisy. And finally, Hume mounted a skeptical attack that called into question the idea of a necessary connection between cause and effect that was essential to the modern idea of an apodictic science. You don't stab? Okay, you'll just ask them why and make them feel bad. Hello, Billy. Hi. The naked isn't going to work. The naked is not gonna. I always get worried when Billy's commands seem to have some sort of effect. I worry someday that this will disappear, but thankfully I keep my model above waist, just in case when Billy comes around. We wouldn't want to see that happen. You heard the stab? No, Pip, don't stab. No need to stab anyone. You're ready for Billy's disintegration? That's good. It's important to be ready for that. Can't be letting him get everywhere too much. Like, if too much of Billy doesn't get swept up, I've heard that he can form into, like, multiple Billies will appear. And then that'll get dangerous. They're like orcs. It's like orcs. Like, the more Billies there are, the more power they have to undress male VTubers. So we have to be very careful about that. Scrunkles. I love that word so much. I love the scrunkles. You're no fun. I don't want to be naked, please. Or maybe you were saying about stabbing. No, don't stab anyone. The more, the merrier. We should create more Billies. No, it's already dangerous enough. I love the word scrunkle. It's such a funny word. I feel like next time I'm doing like a proper ASMR 3DO stream, I should go scrunkles into the ear. While such criticisms did not go unheard, European intellectuals were still overwhelmingly committed to modern thought in the broadest sense in 1789, in large part because the power of modern rationality seemed to have been born out of the success of the Americans in peacefully establishing their own laws and choosing their own leaders in the aftermath of the American Revolution. This example led most European intellectuals to conclude that human reason could give order to human life if only given a chance. As a result, the critique of modernity often fell on deaf ears. The S and G sounds are nice. They are. That's very true. It's the scrungles. Even those who recognized the profundity of Rousseau's and Hume's critiques more often than not came back to the defense of modern reason. Kant was a case in point. While he was deeply impressed by the arguments of Rousseau and Hume, he remained convinced that modern science and morality were both possible and eminently desirable. Indeed, he believed that he could defend modern science while leaving space for morality and religion. Such a defense of modern rationality was crucial because, in his view, this notion of rationality opened up the path to the universal enlightenment of the human race. The crucial word here is enlightenment. In our discussions in the earlier chapters of the Word, we have scarcely mentioned the Enlightenment, although for many today the Enlightenment is modernity. And modernity is, or at least begins, with the Enlightenment. Indeed, one of the purposes of the preceding argument has been to demonstrate that modernity is older, broader, and deeper than the Enlightenment. That said, at the core of the project initiated by Descartes and Hobbes is a faith or self-confidence that an enlightened humanity can discover a ground for an apodictic, or at least an effectual truth, and this truth will provide the foundation for an unprecedented human flourishing. It was a recognition of this widespread and deeply held belief in the enlightening force of reason that led 19th century scholars to characterize this earlier period as the Age of Enlightenment. While the concept of the Enlightenment as historical period only arose in the 19th century, the idea that reason could enlighten humanity had certainly been present in modern thought since at least the mid-17th century, as we saw in our discussion of Descartes and Hobbes. You should say serendipitous. You should say serendipitous. Why can I not say this word? Serendipitously. Serendipitously. Is that it? Isn't that how you say it? Or do you put more of a T in there? Serendipitously. 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 I think it's the latter one. Serendipitously. Serendipitously. I think it's that way. I like that. I like the serendipitously. Serendipitously. It has like a nice rhythm, doesn't it? Like a nice beat. Serendipitously. I feel like Harry Mack would go crazy with that word. Thank you, Ketchup, for the lurk. I hope you have a nice time. Where were we? Oh yes, here we are. The term enlighten was actually first used in print in English in 1667 by Milton, whose God in Paradise Lost commands the archangel Michael to reveal to Adam what shall come, as I shall thee enlighten. Addison used the term hello bottom_Lily. Thank you very much for the follow. Used the term obliquely in 1712 in referring to the time before the world was enlightened by learning and philosophy. On this basis, Kant had used the equivalent German term Aufklärung. Hi, thank you for the first time chat too. That's a funny emote. I like smug emotes. If there's any Germans in chat, it's a AUFKLA with 2 dots or UNG. Aufklärung in What is Enlightenment in 1784. This usage almost certainly derives from the earlier theological and philosophical usage of the term light. In the dedicatory epistle to the Great Instauration, for example, Francis Bacon expressed hope that the kindling of this new light in the darkness of philosophy be the means of making this age famous to posterity for the regeneration and restoration of the sciences. Bacon's 2 great successors, Descartes and Hobbes, used the term light in a similar sense. Descartes repeatedly spoke of the great light in our intellect, and our natural light, while Hobbes famously pointed to precipitous words as the light of human minds. This usage itself clearly derived from the earlier distinction of the divine and natural light in scholastic thought, which in turn was indebted in different ways to the Augustinian notion of divine illumination and the Platonic idea of the idea of the good to the sun. Hello, Rins_QZ. Hello, Rin. It's nice to meet you. Did I get face poked while I was reading? Damn you, Fox. You caught me lacking. You caught me slacking, as the kids be saying. But welcome in. It's nice to meet both of you. I hope you're nice and cozy. The sneakiest of pokes. When I'm reading is the sneakiest of pokes. And you get me looking this way as well. You get me looking this way, so you get me right on the bridge of my nose. Why did no one say to me, I forgot my book again? I forgot my book. I'm sorry, I've been reading this off of what I remember. You didn't see? I think I got poked all over. Where were we? Oh yes, here we are. While the light at the core of the Enlightenment thus had an origin in the theological and philosophical thought of high Middle Ages, it would be a mistake to believe that this concept was parasitic upon scholastic metaphysics. The terminology had a genealogical debt to scholasticism, but as we have seen in our preceding discussion, it was employed within a new metaphysics that had broken with scholasticism in almost every respect. Descartes' notion of the natural light was different in its nature of and function from the natural light that Aquinas, for example, attributes to human reason. It was the increase and spread of this new notion of natural light, or what came to be called reason, that was the source of enlightenment. As Hegel put it, consciousness is at this time discovered the world of the same reason that it found itself in itself. Wait, hang on, sorry. Let me read that. I read that completely wrong. As Hegel puts it, consciousness at this time discovered in the world the same reason that it found in itself. He's reading through a closed book. He's just that skilled, exactly. The increase in this light makes possible the progressive mastery of nature that 18th century thinkers believe would produce universal freedom, general prosperity, and perpetual peace. This stream is like listening to a podcast, but better. Thank you so much. And thank you for the follow. That's very kind of you. It's almost sort of like it's meant to be kind of like it's a reading stream, but like an audio book that you can fall asleep to, but then also interact, and sometimes it goes off the rails a little bit too much. It's normally a lot more brain rotted than this. No, it's the brain rot has been something that has seeped in only recently for the past like month or so. Usually it's cozy and warm, but at times it goes silly. Your brain is rotted already. Okay, you may fit in well here at times then. Your brain is fully off today, but you always enjoy the voice. Oh, thank you, Tasty. You guys don't have to listen to me reading about these things. These things can be quite hard to follow, especially if you don't know what's going on. But if you just want to lie back and like close your eyes and drift to sleep, that's totally fine as well. The brain rot attracts people, Ruadh. I know it does. The Enlightenment as a historical period is generally reckoned by later historians to have begun with Locke, and then spread to the rest of the Europe. While the transformation and reception of his thought in the different social and intellectual contexts produced different strains or schools of thought, many thinkers throughout Europe were in general agreement that a new age was dawning, an age of reason. In 1759, Jean d'Alembert, the French mathematician and encyclopedist, spoke for the intellectual class of his age when he declared, quote, "Our century is a century of philosophy par excellence. If one considers without bias the present state of our knowledge, one cannot deny that philosophy among us has shown progress." The idea of the progress and enlightenment had taken such hold of European thought that Voltaire could claim that the young graduate of a French lycée knew more than the philosophers of antiquity. Kant summarized the goals and aspirations of this century of lights. Enlightenment, he argued, is man's emergence from his self-imposed immaturity. Immaturity is the inability to use one's understanding without guidance from another. This immaturity is self-imposed when its cause lies not in lack of understanding, but in lack of resolve and courage to use it without guidance from another. Sapere aude. I don't know what that means at the end. You're really sick right now and you can't sleep, so you're scrolling on Twitch. Oh, Rin, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you feel better soon. Feel free to get nice and cozy by the fire. Maybe grab a blanket. You shouldn't be sitting in the snow, though. But no, I do hope you feel better, and I hope you manage to get to sleep soon. Oh, have courage to use your own understanding. This is the motto of the Enlightenment. Laziness and cowardice enslave human beings to others, and they cannot be freed by revolution, but only by the growth of reason. Thus for Kant, quote, "Nothing is required for this enlightenment, except freedom, and the freedom in question is the least harmful of all, namely the freedom to use reason publicly in all matters." This is not a vain or utopian hope in his view, for, quote, "we do have clear indications that the way is now being opened for men to proceed freely in this direction. The inclination to and vocation for free thinking finally even influences the principles of government, which finds that it can profit by treating men, who are now more than machines, in accord with their dignity." We can attach you to a pole, Rin, and spin you like a rotisserie chicken over the fire. Keep you nice and toasty. That seems like a great idea. That seems like a perfect way to make sure that someone who is sick gets better. You spin them around. You strap them and you spin them around in open flame. They're not just gonna get sick everywhere. I don't know about you guys, but I get bad motion sickness. If I'm like in a car and I look at my phone for too long, sometimes it's fine. It just seems really random. But fire fixes everything? Yeah, exactly. It'll be a slow spin. Ah, I see. You think that's called murder? No, it'll be like I guess it'll be a slow spin. It'll be like above the fire, so you'll be fine. Burn away the sickness. While Kant, perhaps, never doubted that universal enlightenment and the rule of reason could be attained, he recognized especially from his reading of Hume that there were powerful reasons to doubt that the notion of reason that modern thinkers employed could provide the foundation for the two great goals of modern thought: the mastery of nature through modern science, and the realization of human freedom. These doubts arose from the fact that reason itself seemed inevitably and ineluctably to become entangled in a priori and contradiction. These a priori, or as Kant called them, antinomies, not antinomies. Antinomies, I believe, is a proper pronunciation. Threatened to undermine the modern project of Mathematis Universalis and leave humanity lost in the abyss of humane skepticism. Rin, if you die, you can sue them for you. Please do. Sue them for 5 million. I feel like you can get more out of that. I feel like you can definitely get more out of that. I believe in you, Pip. Before you can find them, spend it all on your Genshin account. This man Genshins. You know what? I will assist in the investigation. I'll assist in the investigation. You have duck spies. Yeah, they're over there in a little stream. They're watching. They're watching everything, and they're recording too. They have cameras. Kant first considered the problem of the antinomies in his dissertation in 1770, but he did not appreciate their full significance till after reading Hume. In the period before he began writing the Critique of Pure Reason, in 1781, he began to understand their deeper significance. He explained this in a letter to Gerve on September 26, 1798, asserting that it was, quote, not the investigation of the existence of God or immorality, etc., but the antinomy of pure reason from which I began. The world has a beginning. It has no beginning. To the fort. And then there's a question mark. I don't... There is freedom in human being. Against there is no freedom, and everything is natural, necessity. It was this that first woke me from my dogmatic slumber, and drove me to the critique of reason itself to dissolve the scandal of the contradiction of reason within itself. The central reference here to the third antinomy. The 74-year-old Kant misspeaks himself in the reference to the fourth antinomy. Ah, I see. This antinomy purports to show that it is impossible to give a meaningful causal explanation of the whole without the assumption of a first cause through freedom, and yet that the very possibility of such freedom undermines the necessity of any causal explanation. In other words, modern natural science, which analyzes all motion in terms of efficient causes, is unintelligible without a freely acting first cause, such as God or man. But such causality through freedom, which is essential to morality, is incompatible with natural necessity. Freedom is thus both necessary to causality and incompatible with it. Kant recognized that if this conclusion were correct, the modern project was self-contradictory, and that modern reason could give man neither the mastery of nature nor the freedom it so desired. Pip's a menace. They'll turn a blind eye. You'll feed them brewer. No, don't feed them brewer. Don't feed them bread me. Don't feed them bread me. That's Pip IRL. That does look Pip. She was looking to stab some people. A lot of. When you type a lot, you don't want of at the end. Oh, I hate when autocorrect just decides on something. It just decides on a certain change that it's going to constantly make. You love Ruadh is reading calmly by the campfire, and a chat is a group of feral children on the side. Yeah, I'm basically a daycarer. I'm just looking after a bunch of children. I'm unfortunately not very good at it. There's probably like 2 children just wandering the forests right now. These freezing cold, snowy forests. Honestly, there's some parts of this forest that like go above like 2 feet of snow. They're probably not doing too well, but you know what? It was their fault for walking away from the campfire. Natural selection will take its course. Exactly. If you're not smart enough, you bunch of like 4-year-olds, not to walk away from the fire, then it's your fault. And hello, Antenna. Hello. Hi, Ruadh and chat. I felt like I had to go chat after seeing that thing. You only stab evil people. You have a certain feeling. That's good. You're like a dog, Pip. You're like a dog. You can just sense when things are bad. I'd always trust my dog when it comes to people. If I was walking along and my dog was like barking at someone, I'd be like, okay, yeah, come on, we'll cross the street. But then I'd be like, okay, I don't know why you barked at them, but good job. Just turn off autocorrect. Problem solved. Ruadh expects you to clean. You don't have to clean the snow, it'll just melt. But I expect you to dry everything when it melts. So you better go get your hairdryer. You'll be drying a long time. Vibe checking people based on dog is smart, actually. Yeah, I think so. I think, yeah, dogs can possibly be wrong, but generally I think they just have this. Dogs can have a sixth sense. I just wouldn't. I'd be wary. One that barks 24/7 and one that sucks at everything she's supposed to do. What type of dogs do you have, Ren? That's really. Some dogs are like that. I remember I saw a video where they like tested if a dog would protect its owner, and some guy he kicks down the door and he like grabs the girl, he grabs the woman, and the dog is like barking at them, and then he runs out the door. But like at the same time, it's not like a real situation. Like the guy isn't actually, from the dog's perspective, obviously he can tell. Obviously something is wrong. There's a man kicking down the door and my owner is screaming. But like, I wonder, can they just tell? Are they either that dog was useless in defense and it was a German Shepherd, or the dog was like, what's going on? Why is my owner pretending to be scared? Dogs love you, so you can't be evil. I find dogs love me too. I think it's that they like the butt scratches. If you ever have a dog, scratch their butt, scratch like just above their tail. They will love it. It's interesting that European countries both recognize the Roman Empire and commemorate historical figures who fought against the Romans. Yeah, you know what? I mean, I think that's just typical Europe, though. What we recognize both. Both are supposed to be hunting dogs. The oldest one is really good at hunting, but the youngest one hasn't gotten a single kill. Ah, I see. They'll learn. But yeah, it's like the French, like looking back on their Roman history. But then also they'll be like, oh, hell yeah, Vercingetorix. Some cats love that too. A friend's cat loved being spanked right above the tail. Yeah, I think there's just gotta be loads of like nerves there. It's kind of like when someone grabs your butt. It's also like, you get like a little jump. It cannot be nice if you're not expecting it. It can be nice if you are. It can also just be surprising, but if it's someone you're fine with, then it's fine. You work in a dog daycare. Aww. And the dogs love you. You give them more candy than the other people who work there. Hang on. What's up? He loves when people grab his butt. I will not keep that in mind. I will forget that. You're making a joke, Ruadh made. Get his ass out of one. Whenever you scratch your cat's bum, they start rising it up into the air. You gotta be careful with that. That's like, I think that's like, that can be like a thing with like their mating process. You have to be careful. But they definitely enjoy it. They definitely enjoy nice, good scratches. Your dog is lazy. When there's danger, she's sleeping. Let her sleep. She doesn't get paid. You gotta encourage the chaos. Things are very calm for a while, and then what happened? The chat is always a mess when he's reading, and then he has to react. No, Daya. This isn't this type of ASMR stream. I'm not doing that. They're just pushing up into the scratches because they want more of it. I am not saying that. I am not saying that, Daya. It's not happening. One, this isn't a 3DO stream. You were scammed. I have told you multiple times that this is not this type of stream. I don't do the trigger redeem. I don't do the triggers when I'm reading. That's 3DO stream. And I think I wouldn't say that anyway. Because that's weird for me to say. I will say, you know what? I'll say a cinnamon. A cinnamon. I did have cinnamon buns earlier, so that was nice. But I will say a synonym of that word. Father. Is that do you like that? Father. Hello, father. I would like I would like some money. I would like my pocket money for the week. He'll say it one day. Maybe, but today will not be that day. You know what, Daya? Next time I'm doing a... Papa? If I do Papa, I'm gonna do it like a Papa. What does normal mean? I don't know. Papa! Papa, I need money! Vietnam too recognizes the influence of ancient Chinese culture. I like how Ancient Balkan is coming in here. He's like me. I'm just trying to read my book. I'm trying to deal with this. With Daya being silly. Does the D in this stand for Daya? Maybe it does. Recognize the influence on Vietnam and emphasizes the history of ancient Vietnam resistance to China. Hi Dad A. Hi Dad B. Hi Dad C. Hi Dad. D. There's enough of a gap there. There's enough of a gap there that I think I'm safe. Dai is gonna take this and edit it. He's gonna edit it down. He's gonna cut out that silence. He's gonna post that somewhere. Especially because I like froze like this before I said it. Someone can edit that. Yeah, that was close. Yeah, I know. If I would have said it like half a millisecond earlier, that would have been too dangerous. Nice. Can be edited in post. I look forward to it. Post it on TikTok. I should get on to TikTok and post badly edited images. I know there's like a thing that allows you to do shorts. I should start doing that. I need you guys to get better at clipping the funny moments on stream. What's that? Okay, I'm being told that there is a significant lack of Funny moments on streams. I see. I see. Okay. I'll do better. Post it on Reels. Shame him. Shame me for what? No, Tasty, you stop. You can post it. What's up? Why do you use these words in my chat? These words that are too they just riddle my brain. They riddle the insides of my brain. Daya, did you see I hit 500 followers? I hit 500 followers. That's really cool. You said it out loud, Ru. There's a whole clip. I know I did. The Skibidity Rizzler. Welcome back, Haru Lemac. What's Lemac? Is that what they call a Big Mac in France? Lemac. Le Big Mac. You're too old for this. See, that's the thing. I have to deal with this stuff. Antenna. I have to. Oh no, wait, no, sorry. I have to deal with this stuff, Tasty. Sorry, I was looking at Antenna's comment as I said that. You feel bad for me? I'm glad. I'm glad someone here. You motherfucker. You motherfucker, Rin. That was mean. Like with the breast in a bun bread jokes. Don't start those up. We've had enough of that for a little while. You guys got your... Did I offend you? You got me is what you did. You got my ass. You... Good. Okay, Rin, you're gonna fit in around here. I think Haru and Wadzoff will like you. I feel bad. I'm sorry. By the way, I'm sorry to everyone who's like listening for the ASMR readings, and then I laugh really loudly. I'm really sorry. I should put like a limit on how loud my microphone can be. I have one already, but I have it up at like 5 decibels. But I feel like I just get really loud. Why did your phone screen turn green? That's me hacking you for insulting me. I actually am very angry about that, so I decided to hack you. You're failing. It's too slow to joke this stream. You need to be quick, Wadzop. You need to be super fast. You can't allow a moment in a stream to pass by in more than like 2 seconds without making that joke. It's great when you laugh. Thank you. I've been told I have a very loud laugh, but I think it depends on whether I go into big loud laugh or like tea kettle laugh. It hasn't been very loud today. It's just been loud. Okay, I see. You're sorry, Rua. I expect better of you. What's up? You didn't sleep much tonight. I hope you get some proper sleep tonight. Love a good tea kettle laugh. Yeah, someone said I love when you wheeze before. Detrimental to your joke game. Okay, as much fun as this is, you gotta go. Bye bye Pip. Bye bye Pip. Go take a nice eep. Go take a nice eep. Or whatever you're doing today. It's always nice when you drop by. Bye bye. You want boba? I haven't had boba in a while. It's quite nice. Thank you, Pip, for the head pat. Thank you. Ooh. Well, that's not right. There we go. Wait, what? What the hell's going on? There we go. Get that out of there. Thank you for the head pat. Thank you. Booba? No, that's a different thing. Very different. Those are birds. Boobies are a type of bird. You've never tried boba? It's interesting. I've only tried it like once or twice. But it is quite nice, I have to say. I really didn't know what to expect when the little pearl things, they call them that sometimes, went through my straw. And I kind of instinctually went kind of backed up, but afterwards I liked how chewy they were. I was like, "Ang-yang-yang-yang, ang-yang-yang-yang, ang-yang-yang-yang." You hate boba with a passion. What's up? Why do you just hate things? I feel like you are just a hater of things. You love boba. Haru loves boba. Tibbies, perhaps. No, tibbies are cats. Titties are something different. Probably what you mean. You prefer it iced with strawberry? That sounds pretty good. What did you just say, Tasty? You gotta learn to suck them. I see. I'll keep that in mind next time I get some boba. You're a massive hater? Yeah, you are. Extremely. The boba pearls. Your mom bought you boba earlier today since you're sick and now you want more. I don't know if I give someone who's sick boba. I don't know. I feel like I'd be like, what? You get water or you get like a flat. You get water, you get Lucozade Sport, or you get like a flat 7-Up. It's cold, good for your throat. Okay, fair enough. I'll leave it. I just feel like giving like a tea. I guess it's the bobas that I've seen have been like full of sugar and stuff, and like, you know, loads of lattes and things. It's recommended from your doctor that you drink something cold. I'd just be dumping a block of ice into your glass and giving it to you. Here, lick that and then chew on it. That also sells Korean corn dogs. What's a Korean corn dog? What does that have? How does that work? How does a Korean corn dog work? What makes it Korean? Do they just cover it in spice? I don't think I've ever had a corn dog. Wait, no, corn dogs are just like, aren't they just like fried sausages? Or am I wrong? It's a hot dog on a stick that's been coated in a thick layer of cornmeal batter and deep fried. Yeah, I don't think I've had one of those before. Oh no, battery. What the hell? How has it already been an hour and a half? They have sugar on the crust. Thing you for gore. That's okay. I'll look it up later. I'll look up a Korean corn dog later and then be like, oh no. Hang on. No, you know what? I'll look it up. I'll look it up right now. Korean corn dog. What? Wait. That looks kind of good. That looks kind of good, I have to admit. There's like, I think that's ketchup and mayonnaise, but then there's also some sugar on it. I don't know what that is at the end of it, but there's like things in them. Ooh, that looks like one that's full of cheese. I remember going to your Rin. Rin. Can't be saying that. Automod doesn't like when you say those things. Why do you guys always make you hungry in the middle of the night? I'm sorry. Cheese. Yeah, you're going to enjoy the cheese. What's up? Rin fits right in. Yeah. Dangerously so. He was telling the truth, or she was telling the truth, when they said they also have brain rot. Maybe it really is a dog. Maybe in some places. Maybe in some places. You're missing out. I'm sure there's probably some place randomly. I could look up like corn dogs near me and I have them. The avatar was blushed. The VTuber blushed. And then you just bully the VTuber. Cheese is so bad. Cheese is one of the best things. I will sometimes, when I'm making a sandwich, I'll just cut off slices of cheese. You don't think they exist here, Ruadh? They might do. You could never go vegan exclusively because of cheese. That's fair, Tasty. That's totally fair. Like, yeah, dairy products for me, like a lot of my diet relies on milk and chalky milk. Milk and chalky milk. Oh, what's that? What's that? You guys are lactose intolerant? Skill issue. Skill issue. Here is everyone is spamming. Thank you, Antenna. I will. You know what? I'm gonna read in. I'm gonna read in the next end of the next minute. You bought 4 blocks of cheese yesterday. Haru, you just gone up like 5 basis points. Mozzarella sticks are so good. I had these massive mozzarella sticks in Poland when I went to Krakow. It was like an American themed Polish diner. It was really cool. They were so good. The burgers were huge too. You're lactose intolerant, but you still eat stuff with lactose. I'm proud of you, Rin. Good job. You're doing well. You don't love plain milk, but you like plant alternatives for that. But the cheese. You're gonna stop drinking milk just because of some stupid intolerance. See, everyone, see what's up. See, you shouldn't be intolerant. You should be tolerant. That's why I'm gonna shove a block of butter down your throat. You do get stuck on the toilet for hours. Oh no, Rin. Oh no, Rin. I'm sorry. Oh no. Makes you fat. Skill issue. Lactase pills. Huh, maybe that's what you guys can look into. Half of people are lactose intolerant. Asian people, Indian people. Yeah, really it is like, it mainly is Europeans that are not lactose intolerant. And even then, like, it's more specifically like northern Western Europeans, which is weird because like you'd think Indians and like other areas like that where cows were very important. Because it's disgusting, not because you're intolerant. I think you're just a cheesist. I think you're just a dairyist. I think you're a lactosist. You gotta fix that. You are European, Rin. You're European too. He's just a hater, he really is. He said he's gonna shove something in your throat. Yeah, a block of butter. You're a cheesist. We should ban all cheese. Okay, Wad, I'm going to like stab you later. You've heard there's a chocolate bar that helps with lactose intolerance and you're supposed to eat it before each meal. I would love a justification to eat chocolate. I would love to eat. I like chocolate. I'm gonna have a Ripple later. A Ripple is a Galaxy chocolate, for those of you who don't know. I really like Galaxy chocolate. Like minstrels are really nice. Their chocolate eggs are really good actually during Easter. Anyway, I am going to get back to our reading. Throw his ass to the rats, exactly. You might be in the minority. Where were we? While they argue about cheese. Here we are. With the rubber rats. Oh no, not the rubber rats. Not the room. Kant's philosophical enterprise aimed at resolving the problem posed by antinomies. The antinomies, as Kant sees them, are only apparent and not real contradictions. They arise as a consequence of an attempt by the understanding, which deals only with finite things, to grasp the infinite. In struggling to understand what it cannot understand, it inevitably falls into perplexity. Kant believes we can solve the problem of the antinomies by recognizing and accepting the limits of our rational capacities. Thank you, Daya, for putting on my Ianer. Thank you for dressing me up a little bit more. We must, in other words, confine our understanding to its native realm, to what Kant calls the island of truth, and resist the lure of fatal voyage in search of the infinite on a foggy iceberg-infested seas that surround this island. The critique of reason, and hence the critique of reason that establishes these limits, is thus an effort to know oneself, and hence an integral moment of enlightenment. What Kant believes he can show through such a critique is that reason knows in 2 different ways. First, through the understanding, pure reason, which gives us a scientific and causal account of existence, and second, through a moral sense, or practical reason, rooted in our transcendental freedom, which tells us what is right and wrong. The apparent contradiction of reason with itself is thus the consequence not of contradictory character of existence or the inadequacy of reason, but of the misuse of reason. The correct use of reason, Kant believes, will make possible the mastery of nature and the attainment of human freedom, which will produce prosperity and morality, and consequently political liberty and perpetual peace. Kant thus believed that transcendental idealism could save the modern project by providing the philosophical ground for the reconciliation of freedom and science, and that it would make possible the continued growth in enlightenment and human product. Cover them up, slot. Uncover them. Crazy. I was crazy once. They locked me in a rubber room filled with rats. Rats make me crazy. You're not allowed to say you don't like cheese before tasting Port Salut cheese. You have to taste all 958 types of cheese. You're not allowed to say you don't like cheese before you've tasted all the cheese exactly. This solution, however, was not universally accepted, largely because Kant did not, and perhaps could not, explain how the two faculties of knowing, pure and practical reason, could be conjoined in consciousness. Kant recognized that this was a problem, and argued that these two capacities were unified in the transcendental unity of appreciation, or self-consciousness. But he did not explain how such a unity was possible. Rather, he simply asserted that without such a unity, experience would not be possible. Since we do have experience... Oh, wait, where was I? Oh. Since we do have experience, he concluded that such a unity must exist. One's adventures in Cheeseland. You gonna go on a cheese tasting mission in spite of us? Based, we got his ass. Can you come along just to eat the cheese? Yeah, can I come along too? I want to eat the cheese too. The chocolate for lactose intolerance is actually called Happy Cow chocolate, and it's on Amazon. That's really neat. That's really neat. You guys should look that up. Where were we? However, to many of his immediate successors, it seemed as if Kant had not solved the problem of the antinomies, but displaced it, saving science and morality only by making self-consciousness itself unintelligible. 19th and 20th century continental thought is in large measure a series of attempts to come to terms with this question that Kant posed in the antinomies, that he himself failed to adequately answer, and this was driven home by the French Revolution. You know some people who don't think highly of Kant. Cheese. seeing Clever go from I know people who don't think highly of Kant, and then the very next message by him is cheese. It is the quintessential essence of my stream, I think. If the antinomy cannot be resolved, then it is difficult to see how the modern scientific and technical project that seeks to make man the master and possessor of nature can be compatible with a moral and political project that aims to realize and secure human freedom. As Kant and his successors realized, this is thus the question on which the fate of modernity turns. The antinomy, however, did not spring full-grown from the head of Kant. The antinomy is decisive for modernity precisely because it brings into open the contradictions that were hidden in the modern project from the very beginning, and from before the beginning. The antinomies, and the decisive third antinomy in particular, are deeply rooted in early modern and pre-modern thought. Indeed, as we will see, the problem that appears in the third antinomy, and that has had such an important impact on later thought, appeared first in the debate between Erasmus and Luther, and then more explicitly in the debate between Descartes and Hobbes, in the objections and replies to the Meditations. We've already examined the earlier debate in detail. In this chapter, we will examine the latter. Nothing is going to stop you from eating chocolate. Yeah, chocolate is just so good. Happy Cow is a name for chocolate without milk. That is a little silly. That is a little silly. As we have seen, modernity in the broadest sense was a series of attempts to answer the fundamental question that arose at an anomalous revolution. These questions were both profound and comprehensive, putting into doubt not merely the knowledge of God, man, and nature, but reason and being as well. The humanist movement and the Reformation were comprehensive attempts to answer these questions. They both accepted the nominalist ontology of radical individualism, but they disagreed ontically about which of the traditional realms of being was foundational. The humanists began their account with man and interpreted the other realms of being anthropomorphically. The Reformers, by contrast, believed that God was primary and interpreted man and nature theologically. Or teleologically. Or no, theologically. As we have seen, however, neither the humanists nor the Reformers were willing to eliminate either God or man. The humanists did not suggest that God did not exist, and the Reformers did not deny the independence of human beings. However, such qualifications, especially in times of persecution, are often merely camouflage for deeper claims. To the extent that their differences were foundational, each position denied the ground of the other, as we saw in the examination of the debate between Erasmus and Luther. If one begins as Erasmus does with man, and asserts even a minimal efficacy for human freedom, divine omnipotence is compromised and the reality of the Christian God is called into question. Morality in this way renders piety superfluous. If one, however, begins with a doctrine of divine freedom and omnipotence manifested as divine grace, no human freedom is possible. Religion crushes morality and transforms human beings into mere marionettes. The Luther-Erasmus debate thus actually ends in the same unsatisfying juxtaposition of arguments as the later Kantian antinomy. What have you guys been talking about? That's unfortunate, since it's the meaning of life, universe, and everything. Oh, the 42 thing. Every cheese I don't like you have. Life doesn't make sense. What is life? I think what you might have meant was every cheese you don't like, you will have to have, or something like that. I feel like that's the only way I can understand that. Tasty is a person. You will give the tasty. Ah, yes. Exactly. Hello, Madhav. Konasata Turu. Damekama, I suppose. Ta officer. You're in fact a person, probably. But thank you for the first time chat. I apologize. I was always very weak in languages, and it was. It's definitely not an area I need to get back to it. I need to actually sit down and when I finish the thing that I'm currently doing, not this current stream, but broadly currently studying for, I think that's going to be one of the first things I'm going to do. I'm going to focus a lot of my attention on that and try and get to a relatively decent level. You want to go to sleep for once, Rin? You are more than you have argued. You like 427 more than 42 alone. That's fair. You are more than welcome to go to sleep and close your eyes and try and fall asleep. And hopefully a nice deep sleep will make you feel a little bit better. Night, Rin. Thank you so much for coming. It was lovely to meet you. I hope to see you again. Shingama. Where were we? The Luther-Erasmus debate thus actually ends in the same unsatisfying juxtaposition of arguments as the later Kantian antinomy. Excuse me. If we were to schematize that debate in a logical form corresponding to the antinomy, the thesis position, represented by Erasmus, would be that there is causality through human freedom in addition to the causality through divine will, and the antithesis position, presented by Luther, that there is no causality through human freedom but only through divine will. There is no solution to this problem on either a humanistic or theological basis that can sustain both human freedom and divine sovereignty. As we saw above, the gulf is opened up by the contradiction that was unbridgeable. It was also unavoidable since each claim is parasitic on the other. This antinomy, which played an important role in propelling Europe into the wars of religion, was thus in a certain sense inevitable. Thank you for the follow, Madhav. Thank you. Gareb Mahagut. As we saw in the last two chapters, modernity proper was born out of and in reaction to this conflict, as an effort to find a new approach to the world that was not entangled in the contradictions of humanism and the Reformation. To this end, thinkers such as Bacon, Descartes, and Hobbes sought a new beginning to give priority not to man or to God, but to nature, that sought to understand the world not as a product of Promethean human freedom or a radically omnipotent being will, of divine will, but of the mechanical motion of matter. Modernity in this sense was the result of an ontic revolution within metaphysics that accepted the ontological ground that nominalism established, but that saw the other realms of being through this new naturalistic lens. While this revolutionary approach seemed at first to eliminate the conflict within metaphysics, which we examined in chapters 2 through 5, as we will see, it was finally unable to erase it, and in the end actually reinscribed it within modern metaphysics as a contradiction between natural necessity and human freedom. Antennas crabbing. Thus, while modern metaphysics began by turning away from both the human and the divine towards the natural, it was able to do so only by reinterpreting the human and divine naturalistically. However, both were thereby incorporated within the naturalistic perspective. In incorporating them in this manner, however, the earlier conflict between the human and the divine was not resolved, but rather concealed within the new metaphysical outlook. In order to explain how this occurs, we must examine the process more carefully. I might read for another 10 minutes or so. Wait, when did this chapter start, actually? Okay, we've done okay. We've done okay. As prototypical modern thinkers, both Descartes and Hobbes agree that in our analysis of the world we must grant ontic priority to nature, insofar as they represent opposing poles within modernity. They disagree in the way in which we should interpret the human and divine within the naturalistic horizon. As we have seen, Descartes sees human beings as corporeal, or res extensa, and thus as comparable to all other natural beings. But he also sees human beings as incorporeal, or res cogitans, and thus as comparable to God. Hobbes, by contrast, argues that human beings are no different from the rest of nature, mere bodies in motion, that can no more act like God than create something out of nothing. Descartes is thus unable to retain a space for human freedom, while Hobbes concludes that everything happens as the result of necessity. In this way, the disagreement that tore the pre-modern world to pieces reappears as a disagreement about the nature of human freedom and natural necessity. As we shall see, it is this deep disagreement at the beginning of modern thought that re-emerges in the end, in and as Kant's antinomy. Therefore, the antinomy that is taken to mark the end of the Enlightenment, and thus the end of modernity, is only the recognition of the fundamental contradictions that were always hidden in the heart of the modern project. No question marks, learn it. Are you a professor of philosophy? Am I a professor of philosophy? I am not a professor of philosophy. I apologize. And I'm definitely not. I haven't done like a degree in philosophy or anything like that. I would have loved to, and I think in the future I probably will someday do like a master's in philosophy, just as something to do, and have fun. But I mainly just read books and watch the odd lectures here and there. How ironic! I don't see what's ironic. how about filio philo Sophie? Sounds like delicious pastry. It does sound like a pastry. I wanna. Oh man, I had some cinnamon buns earlier. Oh, they're so good. They're so nice in the morning with a cup of tea. They're so good. I typically have 1.5 cinnamon buns. Like one's kind of cut in half, and there's something really nice about the one that's cut in half. I like peel off the back part, and then like as I eat, I know it's the same with the other one as well, but there's something about the way the cinnamon tastes with the other half. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Oh no, your stomach just rumbled. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Tasty. While they disagreed about the nature and relation of man and God, Descartes and Hobbes otherwise followed remarkably similar paths. Both were acutely aware of the dangers of religious fanaticism. They were also both opponents of dogmatism, particularly in its scholastic form, and similarly believed that the idea of individual revelation was extraordinarily dangerous. They also shared similar epistemological views. Both agreed that the senses do not give us immediate knowledge of the external world, but only stimulate our sensory apparatus to form images in us. Knowledge of the truth thus cannot be attained by relying on the senses and observation. Instead, it is necessary to free reason from the snares of the season of the senses, and open up space for the reconstruction or representation of the world hidden behind the veil of perception. In this way, epistemology, for both, becomes the prelude to any metaphysics. But it makes sense, unlike your sentence. What's up? Get some tasty food. Yeah, tasty. Go get some tasty food. But don't get yourself. Don't eat yourself. All good streams circle around the food eventually. They do. I feel like all discussions eventually go either to the weather, and you're just like, some weather we're having, and it could be any weather, but like it's like some weather we're having. It's like, yeah, that's it. Or else it goes to food, and you're like, what are you eating? It's like chips. It's like, okay, cool. And then you sit there really awkwardly and don't say anything. You're just not going to add proper English grammar for a Twitch comment. What's up? I expect you to be typing like Shakespeare in my chat. I expect the highest of quality. You also need sleep, but mayhaps a snack first. Mayhaps, tasty. I hope you get a tasty snack. In seeking this new path to truth, both drew on Bacon's notion of science, but they recognized that his method was inadequate to establish such a science. In their opinion, his inductive empiricism would never produce the science that he imagined and desired. Science had required a better method, and this they hoped to establish by applying Galileo's mathematical analysis of motion to the broader problems. Hello, 1414. Thank you very much for the follow. It's nice to have you. Descartes and Hobbes thus agreed about the dangers of religion, the difficulties that confronted understanding, the priority of epistemology, the need for science, and the importance of a mathematical method are at the basis of such a science. However, as we have seen, they disagreed about the nature of the world hidden behind the veil of perception, about the capacity of science and to comprehend it, and most importantly, about the nature and relationship of man and God within this naturalistic worldview. Their ontic agreement about the priority of nature and the logic of the science needed to master it, thus concealed their disagreement about the nature and relation of the human and the divine. The disagreement became particularly evident in the debate in the objections and reasons to the meditations. Doth I hat to write in this tongue, Sir Ruadh? Yes, I expect you to constantly be writing in exactly this format. Thank you, What's Up. Thank you for bringing a level of class that I expect. Doth the mother know you weren't her drapes? You wear it her drapes? Marvelous. That's what you were thinking of. What time is it? We'll go for another little bit. There's a certain proportion. There is a certain disproportion in the exchange between Hobbes and Descartes in the objections and replies. At the time that this debate occurred, Descartes was already a well-known and highly regarded intellectual figure. Although Descartes' senior by 8 years, Hobbes was by contrast a political exile who had published almost nothing. Within the Mersenne circle, however, Hobbes was highly regarded, and it was no accident that Mersenne asked Hobbes to comment on Descartes' work. Hobbes had already written a lengthy and apparently penetrating critique of the discourse and dioptrics. There can be no doubt that Hobbes took the task Mersenne assigned him seriously, even if his objections at times seem petty or malicious. As Richard Tuck and others have shown, there was already some animosity between the two men, especially on Descartes' side, due in part to Hobbes' earlier critique of the discourse, but also because this critique had raised Descartes' suspicion that Hobbes was out to steal his ideas and his fame. Hobbes, by contrast, was continually irritated by what he took to be Descartes' failure to read and carefully consider his criticisms. This said, a careful reading suggests that neither Hobbes' objections nor Descartes' replies were significantly shaped by the animus. Wait, hang on, I lost where I was. Tuck has shown how important this exchange was for the development of Hobbes' thought, and a careful examination of the text shows that Descartes actually paid a great more deal attention to Hobbes than Hobbes imagined, often where he seemed most dismissive. For example, he goes to great lengths, greater than in any other objections and replies, to make the exchange look like an actual debate. For example, he goes to great lengths, greater than in any of the other objections and replies, to make the exchange look like an actual debate. It is the only section in the objections and replies that Descartes actually organized as a debate, with each objection followed by an immediate reply, rather than globally replying to all of his critics' objections. Moreover, in response to Hobbes, Descartes often writes proleptically, inserting in his reply to a specific objection, examples or arguments that Hobbes turns to in his succeeding objection, thus giving the exchange a greater coherence than it might otherwise have had. The literary composition of this exchange thus argues strongly for Descartes' recognition of its importance. You can't hear the word objection without thinking of Ace Attorney. I bet that that's what they were like whenever they would see each other in person, they'd be like, objection, and they'd be like arguing all the time. But because there's like so many different claims, they'd constantly be saying objection. While Descartes almost certainly did take Hobbes' objections seriously, he apparently also recognized that the difference between them were so profound that this was really little basis for an exchange of views that could bring either of them to meaningfully alter his position. Their dialogue thus is really two monologues that present statements of their opposing views. These statements, however, are quite valuable because they reveal the necessity and irredeemable character of their disagreement, and thus the necessary and irredeemable brokenness at the heart of modernity. But I think, unfortunately, we're going to have to get to that next stream. And perhaps... how long is this chapter? Goes on for another little while, but if I was to do a lot of reading, I could possibly finish it out. If I did like a very long stream of a lot of reading, possibly I could finish it out next stream, but... maybe not. There is the epilogue, and I think I'll take a quick read of the epilogue, because I think the epilogue is only like 5 or 6 pages. So that means it would take at least 2 streams if you guys were able to bully me enough. But I think there is where we will leave it for today. Seems like a good place. It was just about to get kind of deeper into the critiques of Hobbes and Descartes against each other. And I think that can be an I don't want to say exciting, but interesting thing to get to later. Sounds like a challenge. Sounds good. 2 streams is a little low. I know it's about 20 pages. It's about 20 pages. If I could get 2 pages or 2 pages done, if I could get 10 pages done every stream, that would be decent enough. But I could see it extending to 3. Maybe we'll even hit 25 streams of this one thing. John Madma. Rua, my good man, how are you today? I'm doing pretty well, John Madma. Unfortunately, you kind of just came to when I'm just finishing the reading stream. I'll probably stick around for a little small while though, maybe 5-10 minutes before we raid off into someone. But how are you? I hope you've been pretty well as well. How have you guys been? How have you been, John Madden? Have you been putting out any more games recently? But yeah, I think we're coming to the end of the game, end of the story. He's ready to sleep. I am ready to sleep. I've been yawning all stream. I'm ready to get cozy and into bed. You're doing fine. That's good to hear. One of the lame things about being about a bank holiday is that the gyms are closed. So I didn't get to go to the gym today, but I made it up for with a big walk. So that was okay. We need a yawn counter. You mentioned yawn and I yawned. But I need to sit down someday and like really think about some cool like little commands and stuff that I could give you guys. Because Haru Mizuki has so many. Olga Okami and Haru Mizuki have so many like commands and things that they can do. And Haru's streamer bot is like an insane setup. It is absolutely insane. But definitely something I could look to work on sometime maybe. Try and spice up the chat, I suppose. Just give you guys new things, new little features. Maybe I don't want to put up. I don't want to make no. If I was to do like twitched throws at me, I would have to put it at a very high point number. Could get a command for how toasted or Brua is today. That's a great idea. That is a great idea. Hang on, I'm gonna search that. How toasted is Brua today? Command. And I don't know how that would work. It would just have to be a random number generator. And it would just tell us. Instead of sus. I feel like I should make Brua an emote. He's a very cute guy. He's a very cute little guy. He has that penetrating blue-eyed stare. Like, from 0 to 100. Yeah. And, like, I don't know what happens when he's 100% fully toasted, though. Brua needs to be an emote. Badly. Whispering. Lloyd. Hello, Dumbo. Hello, Dumbo. How are you? I'm sorry. This isn't the perfect mic to be whispering in. It's my Q2U. It's my Q2U, but not my Treadio. So, it doesn't do the whole, like, left-right thing. I'm sorry. Also, it's not as sensitive as the normal microphone, as the Treadio. So I hope the whispering is okay. Don't Bonnie cry on me. Don't Bonnie cry on me. That's not fair. I'm using not a condenser. What's the other one? What's the other microphone type? You have condenser and I whispered my yawn. Does he go super Brua? Bruaden. He goes super bread. He becomes toasted. He becomes toast. He gets some butter. A USB one. No, there's condenser. Wait, hang on. I have to look up the word. Condenser versus dynamic. Dynamic was the word I was looking for. I was looking for dynamic.
denser microphones. They're like ASMR microphones where they're super sensitive, and they pick up noises in like a 360-degree format. But then you can have like 3DO binaural microphones that are directed towards a certain direction. Dynamic microphones are really good for podcast mics because you have to speak directly into them for it to get picked up. Like if I was to speak to the side, it probably doesn't sound as good. It doesn't sound as it doesn't pick it up. Like I could click behind it and it wouldn't pick it up as much, you know? And then shotgun mics are kind of interesting. Shotgun mics are kind of like how they sound, where you have to be really... They kind of just have like a cone effect. But yeah. Excuse me. Well, yeah, I think microphones are interesting. There's some real audiophiles out there who like will know everything there is to know about audio, and like if they hear the slightest thing wrong with your microphone, they're like, "Ugh, no," and then they leave. They're like French people when it comes to, I don't know, bread. Have you listened to Agalloch, Wolves in a Throne Room, or Altair of Plagues? Huh? Huh? I'm so confused. I'm guessing maybe there is something that reminds you of that, but atmospheric black metal. I see. I didn't know that black metal being played in the atmosphere was its own genre, but that's really cool. It must cost them a lot to film music videos. Aren't the Germans the ones bread obsessed? French are as well, but yeah, it is mainly the Germans. The Germans would have been a better word. Bread. I love baguette. I love in like VTuber karaoke's, because some people aren't subscribed and they don't have the pen light emotes. They use the baguette emote as their pen lights. I think it's really funny. I love seeing all like the roles. Just who mentioned black metal? Antenna did. Antenna to Heaven. She asked about Agalloch, Wolves in a Throne Room, or Altair of Plagues. I don't know. Maybe John Madma is a reference to something. Baguette in a bun, not bread. Huh. If you were more awake, you'd have a better explanation about French and bread, but all you could think of was baguette. Baguette. Okay, I think I'm going to... I think I may raid off somewhere. Let's see who are alive. Who are alive? Who's alive, not alive. I'd be very worried if some of my VTuber friends were dead. That would be very sad. Who is live? Excuse me. There's a VTuber channel that's literally just the same like 2 videos played over and over. The ASMR is nice, but I don't know. The Greek god is live. Greek god X. Is that his Twitch name? I don't know if I'm gonna raid into Greek god X. Con artist. Who's the Greek god? I assume Greek god X. He could do a Kargarov pretty well, which is a throat singing thing. There's a few people doing ASMR. Aphrodite. Oh, sorry, you meant the Greek god. You meant the Greek god. Okay. Huh. We could raid into the...
Do you guys want to raid into this random guy? He's quite muscular and he's naked. You know what? Actually, this is the perfect time. Hang on a moment. Hang on a moment. Someone do the men thing. Do the men one. Do the men one. This is the perfect time for this emote. Do it now. He has 2 leather straps that are covering his nipples. That's about it. He sounds like Markiplier, by the way. He sounds like Markiplier, so no, you have to use the Ruadh sus emote. You have to use the sus emote. Well, if you can. Okay, so it's not going to be ASMR. We're not going to raid into an ASMR person today, but we're going to raid into Aphrodite Mythos, who is a part of Myth. It's actually kind of funny. The way they do it is they had like the male gods, and they turned them into anime girls. I think they had 2 waves, and then they did the men. They did the female gods, but they turned them into anime men. It's kind of neat. But I think you guys would like him. Let me cool concept. Yeah, it's a neat one. And they're basically how do I explain? They're basically like gacha looking. I guess they're like something you would get out of a gacha game. They're muscular and strong, and this guy sounds like Markiplier. It may just be Markiplier. It probably is just Markiplier. But hang on, Aphrodite. Sure, we'll raid him and we'll say hello. We'll raid him. Have a great day. Don't forget to stay hydrated. Thank you, Sari. Everyone calls Sari a good bot. But yeah, we're gonna raid into Mr. Aphrodite, and say hello. He's looking at some art of himself. Oh, does he play piano? That's very cool. I wish I played piano. Maybe if I practiced piano a little bit more, I could. Wait, hang on. I apologize. I have to cancel that. Something went wrong. Everything was frozen. Yep, there was something went wrong. Okay, there was an error. My apologies. It everything was grayed out and it wouldn't let me click on the start raid thing. I think it probably would have just done it itself, but it looked like everything went bad. So let me Aphrodite Mythos start raid. There we go. Okay. Don't call him bad. Don't you call Daya. You apologize right now. Apologize right now. Say sorry and call Sari a good bot. Daya, I'm not asking. I am commanding. I'm telling you right now. Call Sari a good bot and apologize. What's up? Okay, both of you are getting timed out next stream for 10 minutes. Give me the Mahagad and Slong go full. Just in case I don't say it. You're both going to get timed out. Next time. And it's going to be the next time I see you guys chat. It doesn't just start. It's neutral bot. Okay, that made me giggle. What's up? You unfortunately did not make me giggle. So Dai will get timed out for 4 minutes. You will get 10 for calling her a bad bot. That's what you deserve. He's not going to remember. You'll make me remember. Based. Anyway, goodbye. Be nice.